Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good you say? I doubt it will stand up to something. I have no disrespect for you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. You can listen to this podcast everywhere. Spotify, SoundCloud, Rumble, Rockfin, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, for some reason. Please like and please subscribe on YouTube. I am inching closer and closer to 100,000 subs on YouTube, and I gotta get that silver play button and hang it up so I feel good about myself. Please and thank you. I'm so excited to have this guest on today. She is the chair of the Libertarian Party at LP National on Twitter. Very exciting. We're going to talk about all things libertarianism and who knows, maybe some fun mom stuff. Welcome to the show, Angela McArdle.
Thank you for having me.
I love the orange. Have you ever had your seasonal colors assessed?
Yeah. I'm one of those weird white people who look really good in orange and yellow. I can make it happen.
Yeah, normally those colors are reserved only for Black people, but you're a pioneer.
That's right.
Were the election results a surprise to you? How was your election night? Were you stressed?
Yes. I was very, very stressed out. The results were not, it's hard to describe. I wasn't surprised, but I was sort of like, we don't know if we have it in the bag until it happens. And yay, it happened.
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. I think the whole time I was like, this is too good to be true. There's going to be some shenanigans. And even it is starting to come out now. I think with the Wisconsin Senate race, they found that it was sort of a similar thing where the Republicans were winning. And then it was like the classic, like, whoop up, the right angle. So it's going to be interesting, but everyone's eyes and ears were opened to this. We all learned many lessons from 2020, and I'm just so proud that there were so many people stationed at polling stations, with their phones out, ready to call out anything sketchy. And
a lot did. The GOP, to their credit, the RNC sued over the early polls closures in Bucks County and won. And got the time extended by a couple of days for early voting. That Scott Pressler caught some other stuff like this crazy aberration in voter registration turn-ins. It was like done at the last minute, and it was highly suspicious. So they were really paying a lot more attention there. I think we have a lot of libertarians elected as election supervisors and constables who are basically like the law enforcement of voting. Is a very strange specific thing, and they were on their toes. So I think that we actually did stop the steal this time. Maybe not all of it, but enough that it made a difference.
Yeah, and the it's such a catchy statement, but a catchy phrase too big to rig. Like all of the charts, it just shows the Republican votes are just far above and beyond, and it's unbelievable. It's like I just can't believe that everyone pulled it off. So it's exciting. I think even Democrats are excited to see the country turn around. I think there's probably a lot of people who are like, let me vote for Kamala so I feel like I'm a good person, but really they want what Trump is offering.
Yeah. I'm sure that the social pressure on their side was extreme. But I think also a lot of people were fatigued. They were just like, look, I'm over it. I'm over the social pressure on who I'm voting for. Men especially were like, yep, you can only be called trash so many times until you're like, okay, guess I'm a garbage person now. Like
Right.
people are over it.
And also too, men being called sexist and racist, but mostly sexist. I think there was a lot of pressure on like Black and Latino men. Like, well, I saw some of the propaganda there that's was oriented for them, and it's like, all right, yeah, you know what, you're calling me sexist so much, let me be sexist then. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I don't want this woman to win. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't think a woman should be president. Maybe not. I don't know. I know how I get during my period, but I'll never be president. But I don't know. Call me
Yeah.
old
I mean,
fashioned.
they like radicalized men against her, I think. It's
Mhm.
interesting because I don't think that Hillary Clinton had that same hate. And she's just like such an
She had like an old school corrupt like been doing it for decades and decades. Like she is part of the institution.
incredibly unlikable, but also perceived as highly competent. And Kamala was
Right.
like unlikable and incompetent.
Yeah.
So, the rest is history.
A lot of people are saying it came down to the moment for her when she was on The View and she couldn't answer the question of what she would do differently than Joe Biden, and apparently that's what a
That
lot
was
of people think really
savage.
hurt her. Yeah.
I think that's crazy that she tried to say that, that Joe Biden did nothing wrong, but somehow I have to replace him and do exactly the same
Right.
thing.
Yeah, he's completely competent. I never saw any kind of mental decline. In fact, he's still great, sharp as a tack. But at the same time, the country's in shambles. What was it? 70+% of people are not happy with the direction the country's
Yeah.
going, but she
Yeah.
wouldn't change a thing. Got it.
No. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, that closes that chapter, Um, I think a lot of us were really freaked out because it seemed like the Dems, when they knew Joe Biden wasn't going to make it, they were just like, screw it. Let's just go all the way. Let's just go complete socialism.
Hmm.
Let's get rid of free speech. Let's just ban everything. Like she was just openly talking about how high taxes were going to be. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy. So, like a strong rebuke against that and wokeism. And Tim Walz was such a little freaky Keebler elf weirdo.
Truly, such a greasy, like a gay John McCain. Like he just I just didn't like the look of his face, which I know you're not supposed to really judge on looks, but how can you not?
No, the physiognomy was bad. It was like off the charts, creepy little weirdo vibes.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
exactly like the archetype of male feminist that makes women's skin crawl and puts off like that primal alert where you're like, this guy's like super nice to me. And I could also see him roofing me and smothering me with a pillow if
Yeah,
I like
what are you doing with
sneezed.
with that
Yeah.
burlap sack behind your back?
Yeah.
And
Total creep
they
vibe.
had to go all in on Kamala to keep Biden's war chest, to keep all his money. So they probably figured like, look, yeah, let's go ahead and run the most far left presidential
Yep.
candidate in the history of this country, and let's just see if people go for it. Like, how out of touch do you have to be? Maybe they knew it wouldn't work, but they just figured this is what we have to go with. This is who she is. Let's just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall to see. Let's just pull out every celebrity we possibly can. Let's call in every favor. Let's go into the most debt. Let's pay $1 million. No, they paid, God, 5 million for Megan Thee Stallion, 10 million for Beyonce, and she didn't even sing.
That was nuts. And then what was her name? It's not Nicki Minaj, the other one, Cardi B, who she couldn't
Oh,
articulate anything and she needed notes.
she's a singer. She's like a rapper. Isn't improvisation part of being a rapper? She couldn't riff. She couldn't talk with the teleprompter down. I'm like, just say like, hey, what's up? Start singing one of your songs. They probably would have loved it.
It was amazing. It was amazing. But the thing that's kind of significant about that is all of those people are just paid shills. And the reason they didn't have anything nice to say is because they didn't have anything nice to say. They were just marched up there and told, some horrible fascist thing is going to happen to you if you don't do this, or like begged, like, we got to call in a favor or whatever, I'll give you $10 million. Like, there was not a single authentic celebrity. Maybe Taylor Swift with her cat photo. I mean, maybe that one was like authentic, childless cat ladies represent. That was a very failed demographic. Very, very failed.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, Beyonce is not hard up for money. I don't think any of the paid
No,
shills
but
were hard up
I
for
think
money.
I think a lot of those people were at Diddy parties. I think they were like, oh no, we can't have that administration get in and release all my dirty Diddy party photos.
You think he will? Do you think that's on the top of the list?
If Kash Patel gets CIA director, or if he gets any other position of authority, yeah, I think he's going to declassify a ton of that stuff.
Oh God, that's really exciting.
Fingers crossed.
Cool.
Fingers crossed.
The end of Hollywood. My gosh, what? Maybe they'll just turn it into, I don't know, a big video game arcade. But it's fun to see celebrities get increasingly more irrelevant. I remember years ago there was much talk of Dave Smith, that he was going to be the Libertarian candidate for president. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a tragedy that turned into a blessing in disguise. I think, for whatever reason, Dave had some personal things